Hello and welcome. This is Japan. This is actually going to be my second attempt of doing this video. I did it and it was like 20 minutes long. I liked it, but it was missing some classes or races. And yeah, you can't. There was a lot that they missed that were just too good to not put back into this game or like into this list. So I'm gonna redo it. My voice is a little shot now because I'm doing this back to back. So I hope you guys still enjoy. And this is Dungeons and Dragons races. So some of these are going to 100% be my opinion. Some of them are going to be based off of just like how hard I think character creation can be and how they fit in settings. So that will be kind of what I'm judging the criteria on. Straight up right out of the box is the Lion Folk. The Lion Folk are actually like really dope looking, but like I feel like they're just like like a strength based Tabaxi. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna throw that out. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's just like I don't know. You could just play a Tabaxi, and the bonuses seem to be a little bit better, and like other fun stuff seems to be right on par with it. I was gonna say right on paw, but that would be too much of a crappy pun. But so I'm gonna put them in C tier. Not something that I think I would go to pick over Tabaxi. So I think that makes it harder for them to go on there. Centaurs. Centaurs actually seem like a lot of fun. I would definitely want to play one, especially as like a mischievous bard. Perfect combination. That's just like, you know, I guess like the basic one. But even just like as a, like a fighter or like even just like an archer, there's like so much cool stuff that I think you could do. So I definitely think at one point I would want to play as one. I don't know a lot about their backstory, so I think that would probably be something I need to look into. But I'm gonna put them B tier. They're hovering towards A, and I might change it by the end, but we'll see. Bird folk. What can you say? They can fly. That is literally the best part of that species. And obviously, if you're looking for something that's bird, they are perfect for that. So I'm gonna put them in A tier because like they are what they are, and it's hard to mess it up. They can fly, they can do their stuff, and that's all that matters. When it comes down to it, Genasi are like interesting to a certain extent. Like if you have an element base that you want to work on, and like I've seen a lot of homebrew ones where they use like space and stars and stuff like that. I think working with some of that also helps. So like they have, I feel like some aspects where like they're kind of stuck in a box, but I like them. I don't know. Genasis are really cool. Obviously with their parents being half genie, you can do a lot of that, especially with a new warlock subclass with genie in it. You could kind of probably put that in there. Like maybe it's their own mom and dad. So I'd put them in B tier just because like they are kind of locked to an element a lot of the times, and that could get rough. If a DM feels to really bear, bully you. And I'm starting to choke to death. All that fun stuff. Goliath. Goliath are really cool, like strong ass fighters, and like they have so many cool things, like with like being able to block stuff, or take like less damage. And yeah, Barbarian Goliath seems to be an easy fit. I would love to see like druids or like something more in tune with nature, but you never really see that played. So I think that puts them lower just because you don't see it too often. I would definitely play a Goliath like druid or something, but I don't see a lot that you can put with it being so big and tall and stuff. It's like to be like a a wizard, just it looks funny, and like you just haven't seen it that often. So like I feel people wouldn't pick that for whatever reason. I just hit the mic. I am doing terrible on this second go, so hopefully this will be better. My friend Water also did a video just like this. I'll put his link and fan in the description, and definitely check it out because like we both DM and play each other's campaigns, and just to see the difference on even just races that we like and don't like, kind of is interesting. But we'll get back to the list automatically. ASMR S tier. They're angels. What are you gonna? How can you not make an interesting story with angels? Like they have so many complicated things you can put into it. It's perfect. Um, Bugbears, they're one of those ones that are really strange. Like I feel like you really have to have an idea of the character that you want to play before you can actually pick a bugbear. Just because like they just fit in. They don't quite fit a lot of the settings too. So like it's kind of hard to be like, oh, here's a bugbear, and like but they have a lot of cool bonuses and like they're brooding. Like they're definitely like kind of like a if you like Bigfoot, I would definitely say something like that. So I'd still probably put them in C tier just because like I don't think I would go to them, and I think that's a lot of the hard things. Like a lot of these what I play, I guess, is what it really comes down to. And yeah, furbolgs. I kind of put them in the same aspect of bugbears. Just kind of like you have to have an idea of what you'd want to play. And I haven't ever really gone to a furbog or even kind of even right, entertained the idea. I've DM'd furbogs. They seem like they would have they kind of like are on the sweeter side and they kind of like fit that and they look like lovable oafs, but just I don't know. There's not anything that interests me playing. Now, goblins. I like small races. I like races that are super small. I mean, you can even see my little icon over here. It's a small little cat or fox. So yeah, goblins are A tier to me. I definitely feel like there's a lot that you could add to just them in general, like with just making them stand out more than some of the other races. Like they can hit stuff that's bigger than them. That's cool. Not really explain why, um, but I definitely think they're heating towards S, and I like playing them. I played a goblin monk named Noodles that could knock out a barbarian warforge because yeah, he's much bigger than him and had a one hell of a punch. So it was fun. I like that, and he was only in like he was just like a NPC. When I say play, most of the time it's like an NPC. But God, that was a fun character. Like if I had to play the whole campaign, it would have been cool to just beat up people as being so small. Hobgoblin is like definitely fighter. I feel like it's just I don't know enough about them to be like I'm gonna pick them as a wizard or whatever because I don't know. As far as I know, they're just even their racial bonus is just kind of more geared towards fighting. I'm gonna put them in D tier. They could possibly be an S, but I don't know. I just don't I don't know what to do with them. Dragonborn, yeah, hands down play any day. They just seem like they'd be super fun. Breathing whatever element that their parent is from. A lot of RP if their parent's still alive, and a regular dragon. And yeah, there's just a lot. I definitely feel like you kind of get your stuff doubled up if you're a sorcerer, so that kind of sucks. But I guess a DM maybe you can get something worked out. I just put them in A tier. I feel like I would definitely play them. I feel like they are almost S also, but I think A is a pretty solid thing. Kinkoos. If you want to play bird folk, you definitely want to go with the Aarakocra, but like Kinkoos have a complicated past, and like they definitely could have a redemption arc in whatever character you want to play. And with the Mimicry, when that was a thing, I know like I think it's taken out the newest books. I always wanted to play one that could do vines, only say vine stuff. Just limit my speech to only vines, and that would have been cool. And I one day hopefully maybe we could play it, even if it's just a side character. But until then, they're gonna go and see. They would almost go to B, but like the flightless part really makes you not want to go there if you really want a bird. Kobolds, Esther. Just that my first character was a kobold. They're just the cute like if it's like a cute little dragon folk is basically what I see them as, even though that's not necessarily true. As like they're kind of a little bit different, like even with that icon. But that's what I see them as, and I will forever be when I think of a character that I want to play. If I just want to be a little smart ass person, I'm thinking Cobalt first. Lizard folks are pretty cool with like some of the stuff that you could like really like if you wanted to like do like a Gila monster, like other like lizards and bearded dragons, like there could be a lot of like lizards like you could make them look different. So I think that'd be really cool to like explore. I think I've only ever had one lizard folk in a campaign, and they were pretty interesting. They just kind of ate a lot of stuff and like were kind of a scavenger. So that part, that could get old, but like I'd probably pick lizard folk. I Do I want to put them in A tier or B? I'm gonna put him in A tier for now. I do kind of like the idea of making like a little bearded dragon or like one of those little geckos that from like Jurassic Park with the things that pop up and spit acid. That could be cool. Like there's a lot of design aspects I think would be good. Orcs, yeah, orcs probably like years ago probably would be like D tier for me, but they've definitely grown up with like having Critical Role with like Travis playing his orc. I think, well, he's a half orc, so he's like a little bit more handsome. But I definitely think that that helps. You know, like you can it just like has something new to the brooding um, orc. But again, I probably wouldn't go straight to picking an orc unless it was something campaign wise that I thought was cool. So they kind of get C tier. I think anything like C and above is just pretty solid that I would play. So it's not a really bad thing being in C. It's just like I'm not gonna go to you. Tabaxi, I played a little Tabaxi named Cupcake. He was like 3.5 foot tall. He was a celestial warlock, and he was super fun to play. A lot of dexterity bonuses, a lot of classes that it would match with to help you out. So they're definitely S tier. And there's so much. I mean, you can think of any type of cat or even like wild animal that could fit underneath that. So it's just cool. Sorry for the cough. Uh, this has been taxing on my thing doing back to back. I should have got some water. Tridents. I play a Trident currently. This is my first only campaign. Wanderer, who I was talking about earlier. I play a Trident in there, and I love like the idea of Tridents, and I love my Trident. I don't think I'd ever play Trident again. I don't know. It's just for what my character was, it was perfect. But for everything else, they're just there, and like I really do like my character, but I don't think I'd play them again. Okay, because Olive is awesome. She'll get a B. The Pureblood Yuanti. I think that's the one with the snake tail. It could be cool. I definitely feel like, they're kind of leaning towards being like villains, or at least like when you see them, they come out as being the villains of campaigns and stuff. But I've never really seen one played, and I would like to see somebody play it. Um, you know, it definitely would be cool to see somebody slither around. I think there could be some aspects of like how you're walking and doing stuff that could be different, and I kind of like that idea. I don't think I'd ever play one though, so I'd have to put them in D just because of that. It's just, it's you really have to have the idea to play one. Feral Tiefling. Um, like feral Tieflings and like regular Tieflings to me are just very similar. I know they have like different aspects. I'll probably put the feral tiefling in A, and then while we're talking about it, we're gonna put the regular tiefling in S. They're so close. I just like the aesthetic of like the regular tieflings because like they look like demons and stuff, and like the feral one kind of like not even like admiration. Like I don't even know what's the best way of saying it. Maybe just because it's like feral. Like I don't know. A lot of my feelings is like that they look more brooding, and I don't know. I don't. That could be wrong with that, but that's how I would see it. They're pretty close. I kind of see them as the same, but like obviously you can see with like the way that they look. This one's more like almost human like, but with the horns. So it's like I don't know. There's just so much cool stuff you can do with the RP, and this one definitely seems like the horns are more massive, and I think like they normally have like tails with spikes on them. I could be wrong, so that would probably put them up with S tier, but I'm gonna put them in A just so my peace of mind. Turtles. I mean, it's a freaking turtle. Like, how can you not love it? I probably would still put it in A tier and not S tier, just because you have to have an idea of what you want to play, and the RP and a lot of this stuff would be so much fun. Obviously, Ninja Turtle, you can't not want to play that, but it could get old. If it's not something that's completely something that you're 100% by. Changelings, I played Changeling once. It was absolutely fun. A lot of DMs ban them. They're very hard to regulate as a DM, so that makes it a lot rougher. But yeah, for sure, I'd play Tiefling again, and I'd put it S tier because it's just unlimited RP aspects that you can do. Plus, just a lot of their own strange backstories of like their culture can be really fun to put your own twist on it. So I would definitely highly recommend a Changeling if your DM would feel that it's fine and you can work out something with changing faces and stuff, because there's a lot of weird stuff. I like it as almost having past lives and changing my face when that past life dies. That's kind of how my character thing was. And that was kind of a lot of fun because you almost can have like multiple character backstories, but also be the same person, and just kind of slowly each character changing how the next one perceives himself. I don't know. That's kind of how I got from it. Dwarves are fun. If you can do a dwarven accent, you should definitely play them at least once. I was gonna play a dwarven Gordon Ramsay ripoff. of just yelling at people. Oh my God. Yeah, and like that they were gonna find me being cooked, and I was gonna be yelling at them, but I never got the chance to play it. But yeah, I would definitely highly recommend, you know, dwarf. I don't think I'd go to a dwarf right away. I think that's my only issue. I don't think I'd pick one unless we were doing some type of mounting campaign, or if it's like how I fit with just my Gordon Ramsay was going to be a dwarf, just because it sounded like he was Ramsay Gordon's beard. I don't know, that just sounded like a perfect dwarven name. Kalistar, which I think are like dream elves. I think they're also the core in Magic the Gathering. I just think they have a different name. I could be wrong. If they're the core, they definitely get more points to me because like they're the story that they have in Zendikar is pretty solid and pretty cool. Yeah, I definitely play a Dream Elf type Kalistar for sure. I'd only not put them in S just because I'm not 100% sure that my brain has not mixed them up and they're two separate races. But I know in Dungeons and Dragons, I'm pretty sure that's what they are. I could be wrong. The Orcs of Alberon, I actually don't really have any aspects on to see where they would fall. It's the same thing with the Alexandria orcs. I'm gonna have to put them down there just because I don't really know what's the difference, and like I don't have much work with them, I guess, or like what do you want to call it? God, why is my brain ability to tell you what makes them special or different. So I probably would never pick them unless I'm in one of those settings and wanted to play orc. So I put them in D. And Shifter is yeah, if you want to play like a werewolf kid or some type of like beast boy, they're definitely like something in there. Like there's definitely something that you can like build off of. I don't think they're something super crazy that I think I would pick right away. So I would put them in C tier, but I would definitely think about them if I kind of wanted to do like a beast boy type character. Like him as a druid or something like that. That could be fun if I wanted to do start as a base of my character. Warforge. Warforge are kind of sick. They have like a lot of aspects, obviously, with whatever setting you're working on, because hey, you don't know where they're gonna fit. Are they made out of stone? Are they made out of wood? Are they made out of the actual things? Like you could do a lot to get them into the campaign. Um, and I don't know, they just seem like fun. I've never played a Warforged. The few Warforged I've had in campaigns have worked out pretty well, even though they didn't really fit the setting that we were in, but they ended up kind of working out to being like very unique on their backstory because like they were one of a kind or they just wanted to be like everybody else. And I don't know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. I'm gonna put them in A tier just because I'm gonna have to put them in S tier. I don't know, I was just kind of a last minute fan. I just looked at them. I had that look. All right, so now we have gifts. um I don't know. It's like gifts have a lot of like backstory that I've heard, at least from like the player that I had one of. Um, that you could do a lot of RP and choice with. I don't know. They're just kind of green elf hobgoblin type creature. I don't know. It's just like they fit like you might look at other stuff first, and that's why I probably put them in D. I just don't see myself going to one, um, unless it was like a setting that I felt like that it would fit really well with. I know also probably would use a lot of NPCs with it because I don't know. I don't know a lot about them. Centaurs, again, I wouldn't see myself playing a centaur. They're kind of cool, but I just wouldn't see myself playing one anytime soon. Um, Luxodon's kind of similar, but like I would if I wanted to be like a cool ass fighter or like even a cleric. So I would put them in C. Minotaurs, again, oh my god, Minotaurs are so much fun to look at, and like they have so much cool stuff. I definitely put them above all these rests because I would pick a Minotaur over them. And yeah, just stabbing people with your horns. That sounds like a lot of fun. The Civic Hybrid, I know like in the Ravnica type areas, they definitely have a lot of use and like they could be used in that. But out of Ravnica, I think would be kind of a harder character to want to go to unless you really talk to your DM, and I just don't think I would play one. Same thing with I don't even know how to the Vidalcan. I like them. and I've seen a couple of the people like playing one on different campaigns. I've never actually had one myself, but I don't know. They just never have interested me. Elves, I mean, they're elves. Plain and simple. Elves, A. Like, they're just, and they're elves. I mean, I can't really explain it. It's an elf. I actually don't know this one. I think they're kind of newer, maybe. So I unfortunately have to put them in the D. I'm sorry. I will after this look them up, and if I need to change something or put it in the comments, I will greatly, apologize for for my misfortunes. Um, yeah, these fish folk people are definitely something that I would traditionally love to play, but I don't know, there's something about them I just quite don't like. Where did I drop it? Oh, it dropped into D. I was gonna put C because I think I could maybe make it look like a carp or something, and that might be cute. Grunk's cute as fuck. I really want to play a Grunk artificer that has a giant barrel on his back that you can just make potions and stuff. Plain and simple. That's what I want to do. He's going up there. He'd probably go up in my top three characters that I want to play right now. Vampire or Dampier. I think are like vampire folks. I haven't actually really seen them, but I'm just assuming with the bat in the background, it's a vampire. I mean, I feel like you could pick any of these races, or like even like an elf and be bit by a vampire. So there's kind of other stuff like that. But it's a vampire, so you got to put it in B. I mean, it's a vampire. Hexblood. There's a lot I think you could do with that. Uh, just like to me, it's like it's when you get so close with some of these, like they're closer to classes too, that it's just hard for me to be like, oh well, I can just do this class and be a warlock or a hex warlock or I don't know. I'd put them in C. I don't think I'd go to them, but I definitely think I would think about it if I had a character that could fit. Reborn, that just the reborn. Come on, there's so much stuff you can do with that. That is definitely A tier. It's not S tier just because um, honestly, it's just like I just feel like I don't know if I would want to play, a character that's maybe a zombie type thing. I don't know. It's like it's kind of like a you really have to have a backstory that I feel. Damn it! Now I'm questioning myself. No, still going A tier. Still going A tier. I haven't played one yet, and I haven't seen one played, so I think that's probably why they're getting a little bit lower mark. A gnome. I hate gnomes. Hate gnomes in Dungeons and Dragons. Hated them in WoW. I hate them in everything. I'm sorry, but just gnomes are no more. Half elf. They're kind of an elf and a human, or whatever it's mixed with. It's it's fun. Um, I probably would play a half elf most times anyway. So like I don't know. It's good. I'd put it as good as an elf. Halflings, every halfling I've met in campaigns are super fun and dope and awesome. So like they're definitely worth playing. I probably would play one. I'd probably put them still in the Sadar area because I probably feel like they're about the same. If Sadar went up to A, then so would Halfling, and I still like them in the B tier. That like the B tier is like I would be looking from this up to for sure get a character down. These ones would be like if I had something in particular that I wanted to do. Half orcs, they're kind of a little bit above orcs just because I don't know. They always kind of describe them also more as like more handsome, so or like more structurally like humanoids. I feel like it's just I don't know that kind of design would probably fit aesthetically better to what I want. Humans are humans. They go see. Uh, Not really any point of playing a human unless you want the feet, or just want some type of human aspect to your campaign. It's just they're playing. The hair folk, yeah, I want to play one. I have no plans to play one anytime soon, but I will play one at some point if I have to because they just seem so much fun. Fairies. I've been torn on fairies because I know they're kind of newer. I haven't looked too much into them, so I don't really know much of their like backstory or how they fit. But would I play one? Probably, but would it be up in my list? Probably not. I'm gonna have to put it in C. But here's my list. Tell me if you guys disagree with it. I know there's probably a lot out there that it would be different. Some of these unfortunately just go down there because I either don't really know them or they just don't really interest me. But I hope you guys enjoyed this list. It's a little bit longer and there's going to be a couple edits in between it. I try not to edit too much because I just bad at editing. but my throat was killing me on this one. So I hope you guys understand, and I hope it wasn't too bad if I accidentally put some coughs in between it. And if you guys enjoy this, tell me. And if there's anything else you want me to put in here with Dungeons and Dragons or anything related to that, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.